So this is step number 7 of making your snowflake on wood. You're going to need the pattern that has the numbers on it. You actually made one of those. You may have kept it. If not, you can pull this up on your iPad. And you need the patterns you're going to follow, which you also have on your iPad. And you are going to, or you may have made your own pattern, in which case you'll need to have that. And you need to have gone back and put all the nails in your wood. Our last session we made the dots in the last video to put in these intermediate nails. And while I was off screen, I went ahead and nailed all of those in. You want to do your best to keep them all pointing straight up and level and even. It will make your artwork look nicer. So using the numbers as a guide, I have started my first pattern. Now, when we were doing our pattern on paper, we went from 2 to 61, and then we picked up our pencil and moved to 62 and went to 3, and then we picked up our pencil and moved from 4 to 63. We cannot do that now because we're not using a pencil, we're using our string. Okay, I have made a small knot at my starting place, and then I have followed the pattern that they gave me. I tried a couple of things before I decided exactly how I wanted to follow the pattern they gave me because I was unhappy with the way it was looking. And I'll just take this off so you can see. One thing that you can do is follow the pattern exactly the way it's written and go from, in this case, 2 to 61, which is right here. And I'm just wrapping it around, keep it steady. And then I have to actually go to 62 with my string. And I've wrapped around there, and then I've gone up to 3, because I started at 2. Wrap around that string. I'm always going to wrap from the right to the left, because you are going to find that you want to be consistent with that. However it is you do it, you just want to do it the same way all along, so you need to pay attention to that. And so I'm going to come to the right side of number 3 and wrap around, and then I have to actually go to number 4, wrap around number 4, and then I want to come down to 63, which is down here. Wrap around that, and then I've got to go over to 64, wrap around that, and then from 64 I need to go over to 5 and wrap around that one. Okay, now the next thing that it calls for is for me to go to number 1, which is up here, and then come all the way back down to number 6, which is down here. I'm not crazy about how that looks, so I'm not going to do it. I'm going to ignore that part of the pattern, and since I went up to 1 and came back down to 6, I'm just going to go straight down to 6. Now, you also want to keep your yarn about the same level on all of your nails. And so I've come over to 6, then I'm going to go to 7, and from 7 I'm going to go to 64, which is right down here. Wrap around that, and then I've got to go from 64 to 63. Okay, and from there I'm going to go to this one here, I believe, which is 8. Wrap around. Oops, I'm always going around to the right. Need to keep that in mind. And from 8, I need to go to 9, which should be this one right here. 6, 7, 8, 9. And then I'm going to go down to 62, which is that one right there. Always going around to the right. That's going to bring me, then I go up to 61 and come back here, and then go from 60, where did I go? Went right up here to this one, which is 10. And then from 10, it says for me to go to 6, which is this one down here, and then back up to 11, which is that one up there. Then I'm going to go to 16, okay? So I didn't make a solid line across here, so I don't want to make a solid line across here. So I'm just going to come up here to this and move down, because that was number 10, number 11. So I went from 61 to 10, but I'm not going from 10 back to 6, and then from 6 to 11. I'm just going straight to 11 and then over to 12. Okay, and so you may find that you need to modify your pattern. My plan is when I get finished at the very end, I'm going to come back and make an outline all the way around, so that it's consistent all the way around. That will also, if I've made any knots or anything, I'll be able to make those knots disappear. So that's one way to do it. Another way to do it is to go to a nail, come back to the nail you started at, then go to the next nail. You can do it that way. But you are going to have to do a little work to modify your pattern and make it look symmetric and minimize the number of cuts that you have in your pattern. Have fun.